Hello everyone, looking to clear CA in your first go or all the more planning for that magical and coveted AIR. So let me share with you some very important tips and hacks on our conversations with tens of different AIRs across our attempts. Now these are the 6 top traits or hacks that stood out. Let me share that with you. First is having a strict and a non-negotiable morning routine. Well, that means that ensuring that you utilize your mornings to the most. If you are watching online lectures, ensuring that you complete that one lecture of 2 hours, 3 hours as a case, maybe in the morning, and that stands out as non-negotiable. Don't have that excuse that we worked hard or partied more on the earlier day. Ensure that having that non-negotiable morning routine goes a really long way. You can control the time when you go into office. Well, for most of us, we can't control the time that we move out. However, having a strict morning routine does a lot good in your early articleship days. Second, doing multiple revisions. Now, the number of revisions varies, but a bare minimum 2, which can go up. The more the better, but a bare minimum 2. Ensuring that you plan in such a way that you plan for at least 3 revisions so that you are having at least the time for 2. If you do 3, nothing like it. More than that, it's kind of a fantasy, but more than that is a bonus. But 2 is non-negotiable, at least 2 revisions, but plan for 3. So at least you come to 2, if not more, right? So if you achieve 3, stick to your plans, nothing like it, but a minimum 2 revisions. Third is a very strong internal ability to manage and restrict distractions. When I say distractions, it can be your social media, it can be everything that is there in front of you to distract you. However, maybe a lot of them would manage their social media time. If they're not fully off it, a lot of them would go off it. However, at least having a tab or internal controls, like maybe having a timer or maybe accessing content through a web browser instead of an app, which is shared by a lot of people because it is not as user friendly. Not looking at reels or shorts or disabling them by using very innovative ways is going a long way. Remember, you are in a time where everyone around you is distracted. So if you keep aside that distraction, let alone everything else, by merely keeping that focus, by moving away that time, you are freeing up so much for you and going so much ahead of a lot of people who are kind of wasting time, maybe just scrolling through content. So managing distractions, if not fully eliminating them, is a very important and a common trait, and that comes from internal discipline and internal control, which you have to cultivate over time. Fourth, well, it's never too late to start, but starting as early as possible goes a really long way. Well, you will hear always stories that we studied only in the study leave and cleared. But well, it does not really harm if you get a little more than the 300 number, right? So the earlier you study, the earlier you start, the better it is. The general argument that one puts across is, sir, we'll forget by the exam day. So what is the point of starting early? Well, even if you start during the study leave, there's a high probability you will forget even 10 days later. That is not something that you will kind of build up as an excuse. Ensure that you start early. But when you are listening to this video, no matter where you are, it's never too late to start. People have started late and even cleared in their first attempt, and well, if fortune favors, then even got an AIR. But it's never too late to start. So as Warren Buffett says, the best time to invest was 10 years ago. The next best time is now. And hence, start as early as possible. Don't wait for that optimum time. Don't wait for the appropriate time, because today is the most appropriate time for you to get into your dedicated preps. Fifth, very little or even no emphasis on ABC analysis. Now remember, focusing on that exhaustive and complete coverage is very important. Now, most of them did not really refer 10 different materials. Having said that, the material that they had, whatever they had, doing that properly and supplementing with, let us say, the recent RTBs, MTBs or the institute material is the maximum that you would have. But within that, filtering and doing ABC analysis and trying to predict trends, well, I've hardly heard any one of them trying to predict a trend. Rather, being prepared for whatever comes goes a really long way. And last but not the least is that aim, that manifestation of really aiming high. So if you start really with that ambition that, okay, I just want to scrape through, get through 40, maybe you're not going to reach there. But if you are aiming high and not just aiming, working towards that aim as well, which is even more important, is what kind of stands through for all of them. Yes, a lot of them had their plans, a lot of them had their plans drawn out, a lot of them did not stick to their plans. However, aiming high and you will fall short a little. If you aim low, well, you don't know where you fall short of, right? And hence, keep these in mind. Remember that everything that you work in some small way will build up to take you to your desired goal. Well, if you get a rank, nothing like it. If you clear in the first attempt, brilliant. But ensuring that you give that preparation that you deserve that place is what you should strive for. Remember, it is something where you kind of go in that process, get into that ability to manage stress and pressure right now. Because when the time comes in the exam, in those 3 hours, if you have managed pressure during those during those months of preparation, where you felt that you want to give up, but you still continued, you went through that next page. That is what will take you through the next question, even in those 3 hours. So don't be under that impression that your papers will be easy. If they're easy, great. But if they're not, you need to be prepared for that. And the best way to do it is to ensure that you put yourself through the drill over those entire months of the study leave, and that will kind of take you and give you the marks that you truly deserve, and you will earn it. Okay, so keep all of these in mind, and if you have not started now, you start now and aim for the rank, manifest it, and I'm sure you will get it. Okay, so I'll see you soon. Until then, bye bye, take care of the study leave. And